Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Rob Rena, and today I have a product review video for you for a garage storage lift system by Fleximounts. This system is suspended from your ceiling by cables. It can hold up to 300 pounds and it gets all the crap off of your floor and you can get more space to work on your car. Fleximounts reached out to us asking to do a review video if they sent us a kit. I was pretty interested because I've had this rolling cart that I've been playing musical chairs with whenever I want to get around the car. And after testing it for over a month and using it a bunch and raising and lowering it, I really like it, to be honest. And I'm going to tell you the ins and outs of installation, the specs and what it can do, as well as the things that we like and the things that you should know before you go and get one of these for yourself if you're considering it. We'll have links in the description, and there's a giveaway at the end from Fleximounts if you want one for your own. So stick around, let's go. Let's start out by talking about the specs associated with installation and the things you should know about placement. So ironically, even with the stud finder, finding these joists and getting those boards secure was the hardest part. Once I did that, then I could put the template up and it was all smooth as butter after that. Now, as you can see, I have these stringer boards that I put up over the drywall here to span the joist spacing behind the drywall. And you can tell from the mudding on the drywall that these stud spacings, along with that big seam that goes down the middle, are kind of irregular. So it didn't quite fit the template very easily on the 12, 16, or 24-inch joist spacing. So these here look willy-nilly, but they're really not. I have lag screws going into joists, 2 at least, on each end of the stringer studs. And then over here, I have that whole long joist with many sets of lag screws securing the winding bar and the gearbox area over there. The drive shaft of the gearbox comes way down here, and when I stand up, I can grab that off that little hook behind the garage door rail there, and I can put it in my drill. And if I don't have my drill, then I can use the manual handle that I have hanging right there next to it. So something to be mindful of here, you need to think about when and where you're going to be using this lift. So as you can see, I have my garage door tracked towards the front end and the rack lifts above the garage door system. So if the garage door is open and flipped up, I cannot lower the rack down because the door is right there underneath it. But if I wanted to use that rack to hold something that needed to be raised and lowered, whether the garage door was open or closed, obviously you place it behind the garage door system, kind of like where we have this little sailboat hanging right here from this kayak mount. Now we're going to go over some of the things we like the most about the system. So as for the things that I really like about it, I have probably 140 pounds worth of power tools and stuff up there right now. It's about half of the weight limit of the 300 pounds that are stated on the side and in the manual. It is super easy to lift up and down. So I'm going to show you how to raise and lower this thing with the power drill. I just have my old drill here. I'm going to set it on the first speed. It's a little bit quieter just for the sake of the video. But I have it hooked up to the rod, which goes all the way up to the gearbox. And as I turn it in reverse, pretty cool, huh? And of course, I love that I was able to open up all this floor space now between my tool cabinets and working on the escape. That's always super nice when trying to get tires off and working with floor jacks and jack stands and stuff, to be able to have all this space around the vehicle and around the other side as well. So I was pretty relieved when it came out of the box that the stuff that I thought was going to need some precision, which was the cables and everything, that comes pre-wound around the main drive bar and the gearbox side of things. All the cables are attached to the eye bolt and they come pre-packaged. And then once you use the template to get all the blocks mounted and the pulley blocks spaced away from the winding bar, then the cables just feed over the pulleys and all 4 corners hang down and you attach them to the platform once you assemble it. So that was pretty nice that it came that way out of the box. You just got to get your spacing right with the template that they give you, and then it's pretty straightforward from there. Another reason why I accepted this demo from Fleximounts is because I know they make good stuff already. Probably about 6 years ago, I purchased this 4x8 standard hanging rack from them off Amazon, and it's real sturdy. I've had to use a ladder to get up there, but now that I have an elevator right next to it, woohoo! I can load up the elevator rack and then use a ladder just to transfer things from one to the other. I don't have to carry the big tubs of things down the ladder anymore, which is really cool. And honestly, kind of a perk if you're elderly or don't have a whole lot of upper body strength, or if you're just nervous around ladders in general. There are a few more things you should know about the GL1 lifting system. Something else about this system is that it's designed for a 9-foot ceiling. It lowers about 6.5 feet, And so that gets it to a very comfortable loading height. Now my ceilings are a little bit higher than that, so I'm just resigned to loading things a little bit higher, about chest height for me. I'm about 5'8". But just know that if you're planning on putting really heavy things on here and you have a high ceiling, it's going to be a little challenging to get things up to that chest height to get them onto this rack. Also know that when you're assembling it, pay attention to the instructions, because it's going to show you which orientation to put the wire rack platform. It's in a tri-fold crimped pattern, and so you want to make sure it's folded perpendicular to the metal crossbars so that it gives it the structural rigidity. So if you're going to be doing this, find a really nice open spot. If you have a really crowded ceiling like I do in my garage and you have limited space, make sure you have a plan of where you're going to put this thing and that you have enough joist space to make this happen, as well as some extra padding space around that, because when this thing lowers, you need to walk around it to be able to load stuff up. And if you're up against a wall or up against something else like we are, as you can see, it gets a little tight this way. I'd give yourself some more space. You got to think about the space down on the floor as well as up in the ceiling. So I want to know what you guys think of this system and what you think you'd want to use it for in your garage if you're interested in it. There's a link in the description below, and there's also the giveaway from Fleximounts up to July 11th. So subscribe to the Fleximounts channel as well as ours, and leave a comment below in the comment section for this video, and you'll be entered into a drawing on July 11th to win one of these yourself. Again, if it's after July 11th, then check out the link below and you'll be able to find it there anyway. So give us a like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on How to Escape. Thanks.